How's it going, everybody? This is the Redhead Gamer, and I'd like to welcome you guys back to another one of my last year videos. This time we're going to be talking about update 1.0.19, and what was introduced in this patch is the Fiend Locker, which includes weapons for the fiends now. As you can see right now, we're currently going over some axes for the slasher. Gotta say, I really love the playtime skin. Definitely reminds me of like Chucky or one of those other fun horror movies of sorts. And I'm pretty sure the War Axe, or whatever you want to call it, is a Dust the Viking reference, but maybe that's just me. Whatever the deal, it's pretty dank looking. Not to mention the chain is customizable for the Strangler, and the venom for the spider is also changeable as well. You can get a sick looking black bile looking color, or you can also get a nice purple or a crazy red. The choice is up to you and which one you're going to rock on your fiend this time around, my fam-a-lamb. Not to mention, you can also get skins for the giant shackles, which just look hella dope. Very nice looking indeed. And, you know, gotta punch people in style. What can you say? So with a little bit of an overlook there, we're gonna jump into a game now, because the second thing that was added in this update was actually a new map called the Mine, which if you saw my previous update with Brother Justin, you guys would probably know. Brother Justin told us that they had taken all the best parts from the previous older last year maps and put them into this new map in order to, you know, make a map that hopefully is perfect on both sides. One thing I've noticed, I've played it about 4 times so far, is that the map is very linear. So it plays a lot like Gym in that the hallways are narrow. There's a lot of places for the Fiend to basically choke point and the camp. And also, it's very hard for the classmates to basically maneuver through. And right now, the biggest advantage that classmates have against Fiends is their mobility. So that actually kind of puts a little bit of a hamper on them and makes their biggest strength not as powerful as it should be, which is good for Fiend players, because that means they're actually able to secure kills and kind of have fun. So one thing I've noticed, and that Brother Justin mentioned in our interview, was that there are a lot of places where fights happen, such as the central area and also the hallways that lead to the objectives. As you'll see here shortly, a lot of the objectives are very, very well placed properly for a Fiend defense, such as the gas canister back here, which is just in a nice little hallway here, which basically can force interactions between the Fiends and the classmates. Also, as you saw earlier there, while I was slamming Sam around like a rag doll, I believe it was Sam, but anyway, a small quality of life change that they made is now that the health bars are 3D. So as you can see there, as we throw Nick, a nice little health bar appears above their head. So we now understand how much health he has, instead of like the old 2D notification that would show up on the top of your screen there and act as a health bar. Which is a pretty nice feature if you ask me. It makes the game a little bit more immersive, and it also looks a bit cooler while you're beating on people, and it fulfills its main purpose of making it easier for you to tell who you're beating the crap out of. So no longer will you be frustrated by teams that go full one classmate skin and you're unable to tell who's who, because as you hit people, their health bar appears above their head, and you know, okay, this is the Nick with the low amount of health, and this is the guy I'm gonna beat the ever-living crap out of, and it works very nice in that regard. Right now, you can see that the objectives are very easily defendable in these parts, and they also took a little bit of inspiration from Gym by placing an ambush spot on one of the pathways you can go, so that forces you to go around. If the person is playing as a certain Fiend, it can affect your entire route and where you're going, which is pretty cool. I like that, you know, as he said, they're learning from their previous mistakes and also some of their previous wins and making those, you know, really fun and enjoyable for everybody to have inside this game right here. As you can see here, we get in a big ol' engagement right now, getting hit with some flamethrower memes. Trying to basically just defend the objective. Luckily, they got a little too greedy there, so I was able to secure a kill. And we're going to go back around, grab Chad, throw him into Nick for damage on both sides, call it Gucci. And that all works out. We're also going to have to flex on Logan, because let's be honest, who doesn't want to flex on Logan? I love Logan, though. Don't take it too personally, alright? It's just a joke. I love you guys. Once again, taking advantage of the vents to get away, which is a good tactic. And kind of going back to the mine and the details about it, one thing I also liked about it is that once you get onto the later objectives, such as in the second and third part, the objectives now require the classmates to split up. So no longer will the full 5-man classmate team end up jumping on an objective and basically just hound dogging you while you're trying to defend or be aggressive. So now the classmates have to split up into groups of 2 or 3 and go do the 2 different cranks which are going on at one time, for example. By doing that, it makes it easier for you as the Fiend to play aggressively, and it also makes Strangler in his current state a little bit stronger. However, I feel like Strangler at the moment is still in need of a buff, because in the patch they said they fixed Strangler's chain, which means it no longer misses like it used to, horrifically. It was pretty bad since the last patch. It's missing like in areas where it should definitely be hitting, and a few other things like that. But the problem with the Strangler at the moment is that before patch 1.0.17, he was designed to be an offensive character. And if you played Strangler offensively, he played very well. You could basically wipe disorganized teams in like no time. But because of that, it was also a problem, because the issue there was that new people would join the game and then like a Strangler would basically just wipe their team in 2 minutes. And let me tell you, that's very discouraging for new people. So, you know, they nerfed him a little bit. His smoke is no longer as OP as it used to be either. His smoke's kind of just dead useless right now. So in my opinion, there's 2 ways they could fix Strangler. One is they either buff him to play more offensively like he used to. However, you know, keep tabs on his stats. So maybe he does a bit more damage than he does right now, but he's not as insane as he used to be. You know, you kind of just have to like tip the scales in favor of balance in that area. And the other idea I had was that you can basically turn him into a defensive fiend if that's how you want him to play. So for example, one idea I had, this is just an idea, feel free to tell me down below in the comments if you disagree or not, is that instead of his chain pulling people in like he does now, perhaps his chain grabs people, it wraps around them, and then like it acts as like a CC and he can constrict them. And also, unlike right now, perhaps make it so that if he grabs them from a higher, more vertical position, he can actually do more damage by hanging the classmates or something along those lines, giving him a little bit of a survivability boost and not, you know, making him a little bit stronger than he is now. Because right now, he's just really bad at defending objectives. And there's no real reason to play him, because even if you whittle the team down a little bit, by the time you spawn back in and select him, the team will already be back up and running. And due to his poor damage and his pretty much, in my opinion, useless utility ability, he's not really able to secure kills. So it takes him a long time to secure a kill, even with the chain, which is just embarrassing compared to how he used to be. And don't get me wrong, I don't think we should go back to old Strangler, because the way the game plays now has changed. And I also feel like if we went back to that, that would also upset a lot of newer players. But he definitely needs something right now, because right now he's just not a very good fit for the game. He doesn't play like the game is balanced for right now. Or I guess, you know, he doesn't play to the style of the game is what I'm trying to say. Other than that, you know, it's been a pretty goddamn good meme and a half. Looking through the patch notes here, they've fixed quite a few things. One of those things being the flamethrower now deals its damage much more rapidly, and the Strangler's, well, we already mentioned the Strangler's changed. Also, apparently there's a few known issues that they're working on fixing. They're not too major though. One of them, for example, helmets incorrectly display partial health when crafted, bear trap skins not visible to classmates, and sometimes VFX for the wall or the giant shackles can be seen by other players while spawned out. Workaround is spawn in and out again. Alright. That's a pretty dank meme. But other than that, it's not too bad. Also, it appears the objectives in the tab screen of the mine are incorrect to some parts. Didn't notice that while I was playing, but that's something to keep an eye out on, I guess. So yeah, with that, I think we're going to go into the game now. Basically just trying to play this point very defensively. Keep it going, doing what we gotta do. And protecting that goddamn objective like a goddamn king. Or something along those lines. I don't exactly know what, but you know, it works out. That's kind of like my crutch phrase, by the way, if you guys haven't noticed. You know, it works out. That's just kind of my motto when it comes to life, though. You really just gotta approach life simply like that. Live and let live, let things happen, let things go, and hopefully work it all out. But anyway, I'm just defending the objective at this point. Trying to keep it all golden here. And this is where we see our opportunity as they're all bunched up. Dash in, hit them with the cleave, get a few hits off there, call it good. Life feels very nice. And then continue up here and continue our assault on the assault. That kind of rhymed in a weird way. We didn't mean it to, but it did. So, hey, Lamau. Homeboy is dead. Spawn around the corner. Remember, as I said in my Fiend guide, go for the corners. Got a nice double cleave there, a slasher. We're going to call it Gucci. And then secure the second kill here. And the only one left now is Logan. Our good old friend Logan, who sends pictures to some of the devs, but we won't talk about that. Yes, you heard me, Logan. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've talked about it on your own stream, even. It's not something to be ashamed of, bro. I understand why you're doing it. And we're going to flex on him because we're toxic. Not really. I love Logan. This was just a joke, okay, guys? Don't like start some goddamn internet Twitter beef or something like that. He's a good guy. He's very funny. Very enjoyable stream. Go check him out. Go check out the streams for everybody who played in this match, by the way. They're all pretty cool people. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this little update video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will catch you around. Until next time, peace out and enjoy this creepy stare I did, hoping Logan would come into my stream. Peace.